Hi everyone, this is Delta Echo, and I've got a little video here for you to showcase an ammo plant that I made in the Contraptions DLC using some mods on PC. And I guess the two main mods are Homemaker and Manufacturing Expanded, though the factory mostly takes advantage of Manufacturing Expanded. Homemaker is just for aesthetics. Anyway, this is an ammo plant, and please forgive this giant eyesore. It was an afterthought. I don't know what I was thinking. I just wanted a shelter for this crazy plant. Anyway, what I wanted to do was make a bunch of bullets. I wanted to mass produce a lot of bullets, and I wanted to be able to make various different bullets without having to think much. In fact, thinking was something I didn't want to do a lot of. That's why I decided to do, a really autonomous, really convoluted, extremely convoluted system. So anyway, the idea is that I come back from questing, I fast travel, I start right here, I have all this junk that I've collected, and I dump it all into this hopper without even thinking about it. Again, I don't want to think about anything. This does all the thinking for me. The hopper spits it out into this conveyor belt, which is borked. At least the animation is borked, it's on, it's running. And this first sorter takes out all this valuable junk that I don't want broken down into components, because this stuff is more valuable to me, specifically, as junk than as components. For instance, a pack of cigarettes is actually worth more caps as a pack of cigarettes than it is as the cloth that it's made of. So I like to hold on to those. The ones that don't make the cut, that don't get sorted by this criteria, end up going into this, the recycler, which I think is part of Manufacturing Expanded mod. But this breaks down any junk into its components, and the components move on to this sorter, which again, sort all the components I want for bullet making, and the rest goes back into the workshop, which again might be part of the mod Manufacturing Expanded. Very convenient. I don't have to worry about like, where's the rest of my components. That's right in my workshop, no problem. And then the components come into this hopper. From there, is this floor 3? We're on floor 3. We're actually on floor 4. This is, darn, this is complicated. Because I have, excuse me, I'm also supposed to choose which bullet I want, which are those switches up there. Let me go show you. Let me go show you the bullets. I choose which bullets I want, and it starts to change all the different diverters so that it leads the materials to the right ammo plant. And as you can see here, I could choose for shotgun shells, or I could choose for 5mm. Let's just put on 5mm. That changes all of the routing, the conveyor belt routing to different parts of the factory, to lead all the materials, all the components and ingredients to the correct ammo plant that creates the 5mm bullets. So when I hit that switch, it caused that logic gate to stop providing power to this diverter. Comes over here, it gets sorted again, provide power to this diverter, not provide power to this diverter, provide power to this hopper, and this conveyor system. It gets further sorted and provide power to this diverter so that it ends up in this ammo plant. So this must be my 5mm. Yep, this is my 5mm plant. And as you can see here, there's a lot of hopper action because I wanted to isolate, either because I ran out of room or because I needed to isolate. In this case, I needed, actually, every ammo plant has to be isolated from the rest of the circuit. When you put the conveyor belts over the hopper like this, you're splitting the circuit. They're not connected in any way. So this conveyor belt does not power this hopper. This hopper and this ammo plant are on its own circuit. So if I turn this off, you see the plant turns off, the hopper is closed so it's not receiving any power, but this conveyor is still running. That's important if you want a multitude of the same plants, in this case ammunition plants, to create different bullets, because every terminal has to be on a separate circuit in order to, well, a separate circuit with the ammo plant in order to control what comes out of that ammo plant. Try it yourselves. try building 3, 4, however many of these ammo plants, and then putting them all in the same circuit as one or multiple terminals, you'll see what I mean. Only one of the terminals is going to work, and that one terminal will only be able to control all of them at the same time, so it would cause all of the ammo plants to create the exact same bullet, which means that defeats the whole purpose of this plant. But yeah, the whole purpose of this plant is I show up, I drop off a bunch of junk, I go back to my workshop, collect the ammo that I want, and that's it, go home. Go continue questing, like not even thinking about it. I just have more bullets. But it doesn't work that way. Actually, let me explain why. Actually, let me demonstrate why. And I can't remember if 5mm needs steel or not, but I know for sure shotgun shells don't need steel. So that's part of the demonstration. And let me turn on the main conveyor system. Really just turns on the mid conveyor system. And here we have it in action. Here it goes. You see, I switched. I went from 5mm shotgun shells, and all the diverters are powered correctly using logic gates and business. And you can see here, they're all AND logic gates, by the way. All of them are ANDs. I just kept it simple. I didn't want to think too hard about it. And there you go. You can see that one's not getting all of the right inputs, so the output's not powered, and that's not powered. Whereas everything else is powered, and all the steel goes to that conveyor lift. I didn't kick a steel off, did I? No. And that conveyor lift lifts them all the way up here. They come over here, and they get sorted. Except shotgun shells don't need steel, at least not for this mod. I don't know if the mod modifies any of the recipes or not, but there you have it. The point is, I don't need steel for the shotgun shells, and that hopper is gonna just unload all of the steel that it has. Steel is an extremely common... Wait, should I be going up or down? Up, yeah, this is the correct direction. Steel is an extremely common component. It's gonna be filling this hopper up with more steel than any other component by far. And that means I'm just gonna be waiting here for a long time for it to finish finally dropping off all the steel. And meanwhile, not a single bullet is being manufactured. So it's a big waste of time. It just doesn't work the way I wanted it to. And it sucks. There's got to be a better way, and I'm going to figure it out. And I'm going to delete all of this, and I'm going to build a new thing, and I'm going to record doing it. Because there was a lot of learning I had to go through. Like how to use these hoppers correctly, and how the hoppers actually separate the circuits, and it makes a big difference. Why use a hopper? You know? Why have any of this complication? Well, it made sense, but now I realize that just the way that this thing works, it doesn't. Hoppers are all one at a time. This is not the best and most efficient way to do it. Anyway, I hope this was somehow helpful to you all. Actually, real quick, just so you know, I spent probably like 10 hours total, maybe, working on this. Some of that time was spent on the whiteboard designing everything. I knew what I wanted, so I said, alright, I need to power 9 different ammunition plants, and I need to be able to divert materials from one central hopper, and from there I designed everything. I then prototyped it, realized I needed to change certain things, and was able to change the design on the whiteboard. Thanks to the prototype, using, like, I think I just used lights instead of, you know, conveyor systems, and all that business, diverters, and all this expensive stuff, and stuff that takes up a lot of space and junk. So, so the prototype with the lights was easier, it's quicker, and I was able to figure everything out. And when I finally got the prototype to work correctly, I went ahead and built the real thing, learned about some issues that I somehow missed with the prototype, fixed them, addressed them, and there, that's it. So do it that way. If you're gonna make some crazy convoluted contraptions, you're gonna have to design on whiteboard, you're gonna have to prototype it and do all that business. And as you can see here, I have just so much stuff going on. And a lot of the space is not being used. It's so inefficient. I hate it. I hate it forever. Anyway, like I said, I hope this helps somebody, or at least entertained you somehow, and hope to catch you next time.